My name is Alexandra Deedles, and this is Norm.
My cat is named Maddie, and I met her, I guess it was about 3 weeks ago.
My name is Nishay Smith, and this is Pookie.
We've been looking at a bunch of different shelters for about a year, on and off. We wanted to adopt a dog.
I was looking for one single cat, about a year old, so that she could handle being in my apartment by herself.
Well, first I came to the shelter and I saw Pookie's mom, and she was gone, adopted already. His sister was adopted. He wasn't even exposed yet. He wasn't even out for display. So I kind of checked the website the next day, and his picture was there. And I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. This dog is so cute. This is my dog, because he was kind of looking up at the camera. And
as soon as we saw Norm, we just knew that he was the one that we wanted, and we came back to visit him almost every day through the adoption process. We just loved him so much.
And then one of the volunteers said, oh, have you checked out this new cat? She's really, really sweet. And another person said, oh, the cat without the ears? And I thought, do I need a cat without ears?
They told us he had an embedded collar and that he was emaciated, but we didn't know where he was from. And the more we came back and we talked to people, they told us more and more about the story. So somebody had tied him up with a clothesline, apparently, and kept him, I guess, in their yard. But it was choking him, and it was getting where he grew into it, and it got stuck in his neck. So the Rescue League actually had to remove it from his neck, and he does have a scar around his neck, you can see.
Pookie was actually a really sick dog when they got him. That's why he hadn't been on display, because he was picked up from a hoarding situation in Georgia. This woman was hoarding something like 79 animals, dogs, small dogs, in her home.
She was a stray, and they found her in Philadelphia. Someone had cut off her ears and put a rubber band around her tail. So it caused about half of her tail to atrophy, and it had to be amputated.
This was the clothesline that was embedded in Norm's neck for I don't know how long, but it's obviously disintegrated and worn down, so it looks like it had been there for a really long time.
It was really like a waiting game, but once he became available for adoption, then I applied.
We fell in love with him before we even knew, but then when we found out his past, we just even more so wanted to give him a good home.
The fact that she didn't have ears just made me think, oh, this cat needs to be taken home and loved. And so then I put in my application for her.
He makes me smile. Like, I think about picking my dog up from daycare. Yes, he goes to daycare, but when I think about picking him up, or if I have to take a trip, I get all these emotions, like I just want to see my dog, or if I have someone watch the dog, I'm always calling, is he okay? Is he okay? I'm worried about him, like almost like he's a child, and I know he's not a child, but he just gives me, I just love him. Like, I'm in love with my dog. I tell people all the time.
She follows me all around the house. If I run upstairs, she runs upstairs. If I run downstairs, she runs downstairs. I can call her from the upstairs, and she'll just run upstairs and jump in bed with me. And she just clearly is a fabulous, fabulous companion.
He's just content now, and he's just happy all the time.
I'm an animal lover by nature. It's very heartbreaking to know that people treat animals poorly, because animals bring joy to people. They don't hold grudges. They're very unconditional in their love for who they're with. They're very loyal. They don't ask for much, So it just makes me angry, and it just makes me sad for the animal. And I wish, I had the capacity to do more for all animals.
That really touched me, the fact that after all that trauma, she still could have the capacity to love humans who had clearly hurt her.
I have thought a lot about his past, and it makes me very, very sad. But I try and take a cue from Norm, because honestly, it seems like since he's been in our home, he's moved on. That chapter in his life, whatever happened in his past, is over with, and so I try not to dwell on it either. He's doing so well. There he goes. He's doing so well, and he has put it behind him. So I think it's best that we all, move forward.
I just encourage everybody to go to a shelter, but a good shelter. This is my favorite place. This is where I might be looking for another dog soon. So
I just can't understand why anybody would ever do anything to any dog. But especially now that I know Norm, you know, the sweetest dog. He's a member of my family, and I can't imagine my life without him. It makes me really grateful that there are people like the Washington Animal Rescue League that go out of their way to find these dogs and rehabilitate them so that they can be adopted and be given good homes.
This is Spirit. Spirit's a 10-month-old pointer mix who's lived a heck of a life thus far. Spirit came through our SHARE program and is a recipient of our Love Fund. He's got quite an amazing story. Spirit, we got from one of our shelters in Georgia, one of our partner shelters out of Georgia. He was shot by a high-velocity rifle in the left leg. The shot was intended for his heart, and his left front leg actually blocked the shot. The rifle blew his leg in half. And just after he was hit, he was terrified and ran across the street and was hit by a car. After being hit by a car, he rolled under someone's house. The person who lived in the house called the local animal control, and they came to pick up Spirit. They brought Spirit back to the shelter where he was headed for the euthanasia table. So Spirit survived 3 near-death experiences. Spirit joined about 29 others on the van back to Washington, D.C. When he got here, we actually had to perform an emergency surgery. As you can see here in the x-ray, his leg was blown apart just below the shoulder by the high-velocity bullet. And our specialist surgeon was able to come in and put a plate and mend the broken leg back together. His name is Spirit for a reason, and what an incredible spirit. Mankind has let him down a great deal. I mean, look at those eyes. He is so forgiving. He's trusting, his tail's wagging. It's amazing that these animals that have been through so much are able to bounce back and actually trust the ones who let him down the most. Spirit has been here for a few weeks now, and he is on the mend. He's going to have full mobility of that left leg, and he's now in need of a home. A rescue effort like Spirit's requires a number of people. It requires this incredible partnership that we have with other shelters that call us when animals are in need. And it requires an organization like ours. It requires us to have the ability and the resources to come in and provide these animals with something that would actually give them a life. And it most importantly requires the very special donors who give to these programs to help fund these miracles.